Hi, this is Dr. Scott with Hearing Solution Centers, and I want to give you some answers to the questions. What should I ask when I get hearing aids? Because the first thing that people always want to ask is just how much are hearing aids? And so I'm going to give you a couple of the answers. Now, here's what I actually say when people ask about what the price of hearing aids are, because we try to tell you right up front. See, some people will say they're from a few hundred to a few thousand, or they say it just depends. And that's just a bogus answer. We say hearing aids are for a pair, they're $2,500, five, six, and $7,000. That's being real. That's being honest because anything else is being dishonest. Don't listen to anything else when they say that. So let's get into the questions you want to ask on the phone, the questions you want to ask when you're there. So, your hearing lifestyle affects your needs. How active are you? If you are 90 years old and you're not getting around as much, that will affect how much you might need. You might not need the highest of technology versus if you're 59 years old or or 62 years old or 25 years old. That will affect what you might need. So how active or how inactive you might be, that will affect what you would need. Secondly, the features and technology, and we can do a lot of these. I mean, we could go into massive detail with this, but tell me about the app for my phone. Now, some of you might go, "What? I never heard about this." But with your phone, you want to have an app on your phone. Now, some of the companies don't really talk about that, but you definitely want hearing aids with a phone app. Now, there are some companies that are not very good about this, and other companies that are better about that. That's something you definitely want that person to understand and understand well about. Because if they don't have a good app and they don't know how to take care of the app, big problem with that too. Explain the rechargeability with the product. Nowadays, the FDA has been so criminal on the way that they do batteries. You do not want to do batteries. I'm telling you right now, you want to do rechargeable products because almost as a point, the batteries you have to use scissors to cut up batteries, and it's because in America right now in 2024 and 2025, the FDA is allowing the battery companies like Rayovac to charge exorbitant prices, and they've allowed the FDA to green light these horrible packages of batteries that no one can open in the history of the world. That's why you want to have rechargeable products. Have them tell you about their rechargeable products. Do you have to plug it in every single night, or can you unplug these and take them with you on a trip? Okay. Another thing, do you have connectivity for your TV with the hearing aids, or don't you need that? What kind of connectivity do you have? Does that come with the hearing aids? Do you provide that, or is it an extra charge? Some of that kind of stuff is something that's very important to you. And maybe it isn't. Maybe you don't care. For instance, I don't watch much TV at all. I've ditched the TV. I don't ever watch that stuff. It's just something I don't do in my life. That might not worry you, but maybe it is a big issue for you. So that's something that you need to look at. Another thing, how often should I come in for cleanings and adjustments? Some people like to be able to come in every 3 to 6 months. Other people want to come in more often. How much of a charge is that? What time frame do they charge after a certain period of time? Which leads me into my next basic question. Some people there's a concept of bundling versus unbundling. And some people will say, What we do is we unbundle everything, meaning that they charge less upfront, but then they charge every single time after a certain period of time so that you pay as you go. And that might sound more reasonable, like you might pay $3,000 for a set of hearing aids, but then after a short period of time, you're paying a lot more over the life of your hearing aids. And yet you might think, that's better for me. Is it? Because what we have found over the years is the bundled concept actually is better for people over the life period because they don't feel like they're being nickel and dimed. But you might disagree with me, and that's okay. So you might want to ask that question, do you bundle or unbundle? That's a big question for you. Again, you might spend some time on these questions overall. How long is the trial period on hearing aids? Almost every state has a 30-day trial period. We actually give a 75-day trial period. That's something you want to ask about. Another thing, does my insurance cover hearing aids? Ask about that. Make them look up your insurance to see if there is coverage on your hearing aids. A lot more insurances cover hearing aids more than you realize. Okay? And lastly, I would say on this list, are there loaners if my hearing aids need to be sent out for repairs? That's a big issue that you want to ask the question. And maybe the answer is no, and it depends upon the case-by-case narrative. If you have very customized hearing aids, that might have to be no, because they can't actually do that. So that's a big question that you need to know before you go into that appointment. And so that is the question. Those are some of the questions that you can ask instead of the traditional, how much are your hearing aids? I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much.